News4Jax is looking into a statement made by Governor DeSantis yesterday during his visit here in Jacksonville about Florida's crime rate. DeSantis said crime in our state is at a 50-year low. However, data experts say that statistic doesn't give the full picture. Tarek Miner ran this through the Trust Index and joins us with added context to this story. Tarek?
Well, the governor made the statement while responding to an African-American veteran who blamed a recent racially motivated shooting on his policies. The News4Jax spoke to the Marshall Project about what DeSantis calls a 50-year low in crime in Florida. The Marshall Project is a nonpartisan nonprofit news organization, and their data analysts tell a much different story.
No, there is the truth. There is something about the truth. It's not everyone doesn't have their own truth.
Governor DeSantis on the defensive Thursday after being criticized for some of his policies. It's then the governor made this statement that he's made several times before on the campaign trail while running for president.
Our crime rate in Florida is at a 50-year low.
While the crowd may be applauding, data analysts with the Marshall Project say Governor DeSantis isn't telling the full story about Florida's crime statistics. Data reporter Wei Hua Lee says 40% of Florida's population was not included in the 2021 data, citing a recent change in the way the FBI and state agencies collect their crime information.
But obviously, this patchiness of data creates huge issues in trying to hold politicians accountable because we just really don't know.
According to data from the Marshall Project, in Duval County specifically, only 3.1% of the population was covered in Florida's reported crime data. Only 4.1% of the population in Clay County was included, and 92.3% of the population in St. Johns County reported their data. Lee says only 49 law enforcement agencies in Florida, which is less than 8% of police departments, were included in the FBI federal database last year. Lee says Florida does not require law enforcement agencies to report their crime statistics. Instead, it's entirely voluntary. News4Jax also reached out to FDLE and learned the following. 29 Florida police agencies have transitioned to what's now called incident-based uniform crime reporting. FDLE says 140 other agencies are still in the process of transitioning. A spokesperson for FDLE says for the counties that have not submitted their data, the state estimates their totals based on statewide trends. Lee says Floridians deserve to know the full context of Florida's crime statistics.
So when Governor Ron DeSantis is saying Florida's crime data is at 50-year low, what he's really saying is based on our estimations of crime data that's missing 40% of Florida's population, crime is at 50-year low.
So to the statement from Governor DeSantis that Florida's crime rate has dropped to a 50-year low, the News4Jax Trust Index team is giving this statement the rating of be careful. The FDLE data is incomplete, and I've confirmed an FDLE spokesperson told me that it was determined partially on estimations. News4Jax also reached out to the governor's office. When asked about the incomplete data, a spokesperson says FDLE uses a similar methodology as the FBI to determine crime trends, and they still contend that crime is at a 50-year low.